Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive.
Always ready to dive in.
Awesome. So today we're tackling something that I think a lot of people struggle with. It's this whole idea of building wealth and how to make it, actually happen.
Yeah, it can feel like a real uphill battle sometimes, right?
Totally. So we're taking inspiration from David Bach's The Automatic Millionaire. You familiar with that one?
Of course. It's a classic for a reason.
It really is. And to get a good grasp on this, we actually checked out a podcast episode featuring Bach himself, plus a super helpful video that breaks down the key points.
Sounds like we've got all our bases covered.
We try. But the big question here is this. Can we really automate our way to financial freedom? It almost sounds too good to be true. Like imagine just reaching your financial goals without constantly obsessing over every penny.
Right. That's the dream. But let's see if it lives up to the hype.
Exactly. So let's break it down. Bach's main argument is that building wealth is more about putting these systems in place than, just sheer willpower. What do you think about that? Is there any truth to that?
I think there's a lot of wisdom in that approach. If you think about it, our willpower is kind of a finite resource. We make so many decisions every single day,
Oh, I know.
and by the end of the day, we're just mentally exhausted. So when it comes to money, we're more likely to make impulsive choices when we're tired. So setting up these automated systems, it's like taking the pressure off our willpower a little bit.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But, sometimes when I hear about automation and finances, it kind of feels like we're tricking ourselves into saving.
I get that. It can feel that way at first,
All right.
but I think it's more about harnessing the power of like inertia almost.
Inertia.
Yeah, like once something's in motion, it's easier to keep it going. So by automating our finances, we're basically putting our good intentions on autopilot, I guess you could say.
I like that. Okay, I'm starting to see how this could work. But I have to ask, isn't this basically just budgeting, but with more steps involved? I mean, he talks a lot about this pay yourself first principle, which sounds a lot like budgeting to me.
It's definitely related to budgeting, yeah. But I think the main difference is the mindset shift.
Mindset shift. Okay, tell me more.
So, traditional budgeting often starts with like, okay, how much money do I have and how much do I need to spend on bills and all that? And then whatever's left over, that's for savings. But pay yourself first flips that round. It's like, boom, I'm putting this amount into savings or investments right off the bat. It's making your future self a priority right from the get-go.
Instead of just hoping that there's something left at the end of the month, I get it. It's like putting your savings goals first and then figuring out the
Oh,
rest. Okay, that makes sense. And, something else Bach talks about that I wanted to bring up is the whole latte factor thing. He talks about how, all these small everyday expenses can really add up over time. But isn't that kind of cliche at this point? Like, I don't think anyone believes that skipping their morning coffee is going to suddenly make them a millionaire.
oh, absolutely not. I think the point of the latte factor isn't really about deprivation. It's not about never enjoying a cup of coffee ever again. It's about awareness.
Awareness of what?
Well, awareness of where your money is actually going and asking yourself, is this daily latte actually something I need and value, or is it just a habit? And if it is just a habit, could that $5 be doing something more impactful somewhere else?
So it's about figuring out what your personal latte factor is. Like, what are those little things that maybe aren't really adding much to your life, but are kind of draining your account without you realizing it?
Precisely. And the thing is, even small amounts, if you consistently invest them, can grow significantly over time. I mean, that's the magic of compounding.
Compounding. It's like that financial snowball effect, right?
Yeah.
Small amounts,
Yeah.
over time, they just keep building and building.
Exactly. It can be pretty amazing to see how much it can grow when you just let it do its thing.
And that ties back into that whole set it and forget it philosophy of automation, right? You
Yeah.
automate those transfers, and your money's out there working for you without you even having to think about it too much.
Yeah. But it's not totally hands off. It's important to, check in on your system every now and then and make sure it's still aligned with your goals.
And life changes, right?
Right.
So maybe your financial situation changes and you need to adjust things.
Right. It's not a one-time setup and then you're done forever. It's got to evolve with you.
For sure.
So the big takeaway here is that building wealth isn't about working harder. It's about working smarter. And it's about automating your finances so your money is working for you instead of the other way around. Absolutely. And on that note, I've got a little thought for our listeners to chew on. What's one small expense, just one, that you could maybe automate today? Even something as simple as setting up a small automatic transfer to your savings account.
It doesn't have to be huge,
Yeah.
but just something to get that ball rolling.
Right, exactly. That's all it takes sometimes.
Yeah.
Just a little nudge in the right direction.
Love that. Well, folks, we'll leave you to ponder that. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. We'll catch you next time.